Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making, I call it the adventure book. It is a split, so it's going to be half and half. Right now all you see me doing is grabbing my little ruler, I guess it's a sewing ruler. I grab that, I wrap it around the tumbler, see exactly how thick my tumbler is, then I divide that in half, and that is how I determine what size I'm going to cut this vinyl right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and then I am going to get my tumbler and get this nifty tool called the Ultimate Tumbler Tool. I actually get this from Cami, Paige Boutique. I do have a discount code, and I will list that down below for you. So it comes with all these attachments, and I just need this one attachment right there in the middle where my thumb is at, and it helps me do a straight line, but it also does so much more, and I will probably do another whole YouTube video on it to show you all the cool things it does. But for right now, I'm just going to use it to go ahead and just make a line so I can lay my vinyl on straight for the split cup. You also see me right here measuring the cup to see how long I need my vinyl to be. I believe it was like 8 inches. So I'm just going to cut a little bit above, a little bit more than 8 inches. And then I'm so sorry, but my camera, like, I have no idea what happened. So I totally missed a whole spot. But basically all I did was I laid the vinyl on there, and I got some masking tape, and I just went ahead and laid that masking tape all around the vinyl. So that way right now when I'm painting this, I do not get any paint on the vinyl. So that tape is just protecting the vinyl from getting any paint or glue or anything like that on there. That paint that I'm using is basically just my base coat. It is like the Color Flex, except this is just like my little version. I cannot wait until I can buy the whole collection, but until then I'm gonna do my little doopy doops. Okay guys, so now you see that that first layer has dried. I'm going to go ahead and go in for that second coat. As always, I always use that second coat as my adhesive layer. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this all around the tumbler. And then once I got a good, even, nice, thick coat on there, well, not really thick, but just a good coverage, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the glitter and sprinkle that all over the cup. Today, the glitter color that I'm using is called Golden Sky Blue, again from Sass Crafts, and I will also link my code down below to go ahead and save you some coins on that beautiful color. Alrighty, so you saw me how I went ahead and pushed the bottom on down there onto the glitter. Sometimes the butts, it doesn't get like a really good coverage, so sometimes with just like, you know, dabbing your bottom of your cup onto that pile of glitter really gets you a good coverage on the butt. So that's just what I did right there. Also, I'm just going ahead and patting my cup to get all that excess off. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but this vinyl is from CSDS Vinyl. It doesn't have a name, so I do not know what it is, but it's like a really pretty textured leather grungy look kind of thing. But that's where I got it from. And I'm just going ahead and making sure all my edges are good. I really don't have no paint on that vinyl, and then I'm going to go ahead and seal it. As soon as it's done sealing, I'm going to go in with my epoxy. Here I'm using Artistry Fast Set 2-in-1, and I'm applying about 20 mLs, and I'm just doing a layer all around. And I'm just making sure that I have good coverage all around that tumbler. So you see me just kind of going all the way around that tumbler, making sure that it has epoxy all over. And then you're going to go ahead and see me, after all this is applied on the cup, you are going to see me mix about 5 mLs, again, Artistry Fast Set 1-to-1 ratio. I'm making 5 mLs and I'm going to put a white mica in it and a dab of acrylic paint in it as well, just so it's not so transparent. And we are going to be making clouds, but that will be in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay guys, so here is where I am mixing the 5 mLs. You want to mix it really good. Artistry Epoxy is amazing. You just have to make sure you just mix it really well to where it is clear. There's no ribbons in the epoxy. And then also this stir stick is from Artistry as well. It is like a plastic popsicle stick, but it's amazing and it's wide, so it gets a really good cover. It gets a really good stir in there. So again, here you see me mixing up that white mica powder. I actually got this off Amazon. It was a 50 pack for like $25. It's still so good. And you just see me putting about like, a good little scoop with my epoxy stir. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that in again really well. And then a little bit, you are going to see me go ahead and add that little dab of acrylic paint, just again, so it will not be so transparent. Alright, now here we go. We're about to put this mica onto the tumbler. The epoxy that you saw me put on here, it is still wet. So that's when you still want to go in. You want to go in right away. You want to let, like, spin for about, 5 minutes, just enough time while you are just mixing up that 5 mLs and putting in your mica and your acrylic. So I'm going in here, I'm making sure that I am just getting that white mica onto the blue glitter part, because again, we're going to make this look like clouds. So you see me just kind of, zigzagging on there. There's no rhyme or reason where I'm putting it. Clouds have their mind of their own and they're beautiful. So you just want to put them, anywhere like that. As soon as I get it where I like it, I'm going to go ahead and use that same popsicle stick but with no mica on it. And you're just going to see me to start dabbing it. I did get some mica onto the vinyl part, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a finger caught on my finger, and I'm just going to wipe that acrylic paint right off, as you see me do there. But now I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to get that paint stick, the plastic stir stick, and I'm just now going to just kind of break up those globs that I put on there, so that way they don't dry like, like a bump or anything. We want them to be a little transparent, but where you can still see the white where they look like clouds. Right here you see me coming in with a heat gun. I wasn't liking how the clouds were still kind of very like bunched up kind of, so I just get my heat gun to kind of just move those clouds with the heat gun, and I kind of like it because it makes it, like look very natural with the heat moving it with the epoxy. So that is what I'm doing here. You want to make sure that you're constantly moving that heat gun though, because you could burn the epoxy and that's no good, and it smells and you would ruin your tumbler. So just make sure you keep moving that heat gun. And as soon as you like the clouds where they're at, you can go ahead and stop, and then just go ahead and let that continue spinning. And then after it's done curing, you can go ahead and pull it off the tumbler, off the turner, and go ahead and start sanding. You always want to do light sands in between coats, just to avoid, any fish eyes, little dust lumps, all that good stuff. So you see me coming in and I'm sanding down the tumbler. I sand it down pretty good, and then I'm going to get a coffee filter and 91% alcohol just to wipe off all that sand dust. Alright, now that all that is nice and wiped down, I went in with this nail tape, and I went ahead and applied that all on the seams to break up that vinyl and that glitter. And I'm going to go ahead, I did that on both sides, and now I am trimming down uh, the vinyl, the stripes, I guess. I forgot what they're called. I am trimming that down, and I'm also going to apply it to the top and the bottom. Alright, now that all that striping is applied, you see how I applied it on the very top, but I also left a very small silver rim, a stainless steel rim showing, just because you have to do that to get a really good seal on your final epoxy. You need to leave like at least a little silver showing. And now I'm going in with all the vinyl decals. I did get this SVG off Etsy. I will link that also down below. And you are going to see me piecing it all together. I would have to say I have this whole cup. This was like the most difficult and time consuming. Well, minus the last part. But this is the second most time consuming thing on this cup, was figuring out the letters and everything. But I kind of started off with R, the very first word of this decal. So you're just going to see kind of piecing it together. You're going to see where I kind of went crooked a little bit. So I'm going to cut the transfer paper into sections. So I kind of just do word for word. Letter by letter, word for word, and you're gonna see how I'm gonna lay it. I figured this was like the easiest thing, and I think it's easier just to see how I do it rather than me try to explain it. But I do have parchment paper on that back. That's what you see. That's what you kind of see me putting the decal on, just so that way the vinyl doesn't stick to anything. So I'm able to pull it off and on. So yes, so just watch how I do this. Like I said, I pieced it letter by letter, word for word. And if you kind of do follow it this way, it makes it a little easier. Also, look at while I was applying this, I was also looking at the SVG on my computer to see exactly where the letters went and kind of like what direction they went. So that also helped me. So always have like some kind of, picture of the SVG, or just have it up on your screen so that way you can be looking at it for reference. And bam, look, it is done. I was so relieved after I had all that pieced together, but it was so worth it because look how cute it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and get transfer tape onto this rope part, and I am going to apply it to the top of the tumbler on the vinyl part. I want this to look like the adventure book, you know, from that very famous movie, with the cute little boy and the grandpa. Yeah, that movie, right? It was so cute. So I kind of want to, you know, kind of recreate that cute little book, and make it kind of mine. So that is why I'm doing this rope on there. And you're going to see I kind of put it on a little I kind of went a little one-sided on it. So I go ahead and pull up the vinyl, and I am going to push it up against that stripe that we've had, get my X-Acto knife, cut that, and then I'm going to piece those other pieces on the other side, and you're not going to tell, guys. I went ahead and left this mistake on here just to show you that if you make a mistake, you can go with it, roll with it, guys. There's really no wrong way on making a tumbler, and everything can be fixed, okay? Legit, everything can be fixed. This is vinyl, you know, it can be fixed. We can recut it, but I didn't want to recut it. So I'm going to piece it together, and that is okay. Okay, so we did that, and now I'm going to go ahead and now make a crease up to that other stripe, cut that, and be done with that decal. I am then going to grab the Art Adventure book decal and place it on the tumbler. You're going to see that I kind of do like I kind of paste it a little crooked. I did that on purpose because I like the crooked look for this decal. I say I usually do not like crooked decals, but for this one I do. I feel like it goes with it. It goes with the theme, and why not? It is so cute. All the letters are crooked. Let's put this on crooked. So I did put on a little crooked. I did figure that way out. You see me kind of anchor the decal on with tape. Do not tape the bottom part because then you cannot get it done. So that is how we did it. And now I'm just applying it. And I did not apply this in my normal way, so I do get a little kinks in my vinyl, which is okay. All I'm going to do is pull off that transfer tape, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that vinyl on there. And you're going to see me get my X-Acto knife. I'm just going to make little slits and then kind of like piece it back together. Again, it's okay to make mistakes. Everything is fixable. They're just tumblers. Remember that, guys. At the end of the day, these are just tumblers. We can fix it. Okay, now for the other half of this tumbler. So I go ahead and get a shape that I want my balloons to be in. And for me, I just chose a mouse head, okay? No, no reason at all. That first one that I put on there, I did not like it. It was too small, so I just went ahead and cut out a bigger size. So I go ahead and tape that down, and now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a acrylic paint marker, and I traced that head shape onto the tumbler, and now you see me drawing lines, acting like it's the balloon string, okay? And I kind of like doing that freehand just to kind of give it a more natural look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull off that head shape off, and I'm going to put my little house decal on there. I go ahead and place it. I make sure that those lines that we created, the balloon lines or string, I put that, like, I make sure I line that up with the chimney of the house. Now you see me go ahead and lay that house on there, and I'm going to go ahead and get my I forgot what it's called. I guess like an edge trimmer. That tool, this tool I also get from the Cami Paige boutique. Again, I have the code listed down below, and I just use that to go ahead and trim that house at the very bottom. Okay, now I'm going making sure that that vinyl is laying out straight with that trim that I just did, and I did have a little hole, so I'm just picking out just the little holes and then, you know, rubbing it down, rubbing those little air bubbles out. And then this cup is ready for its not last, it's ready for another coat of epoxy. But from here, I go ahead and put 2 coats of epoxy, and then will add the final step. Oh wait, just kidding, I have to add my logo bottom, duh. So I went ahead and put 2 layers of epoxy off camera, and now it is dry and it's ready for its last final step, which I feel like this step, guys, just gives this cup so much character, and it adds so much cuteness to this cup. Okay, I get these bubble beads, or pearl beads I should say. They're flat backs. I got these from Hobby Lobby, and guys, guess what, I got these for $2.50. What? Yes, 250. Okay, so I'm just going in, and I kind of start off with that outline because we do not want the outline of that head showing. So I put those beads all around the outline, and then I just kind of fill in from there.